Svein from tabletopbattle.com, and I'm now going to give you a sneak peek of the upcoming battle called Rommel's Ruse. It's number 2 for 1941, and it was made by the North Australian War Games designers. So sit back and enjoy, and I will take you through it. 24th of March 1941, and Rommel has arrived, and he has scored a minor victory in the last battle where they kind of killed a couple of British armored vehicles. Didn't capture the British commander, but one more round and they would have made it. But Rommel is on the move again, and this time he is setting his eyes on the city of Agheila. And I will go through the details of the scenario now. This is what the battlefield looks like. We are of course in the North African desert. What you see in front of you here are tank ditches, and these are 4 inches wide and of course impassable to vehicles and tanks. Soldiers that are inside the tank ditch is only visible to other soldiers in the tank ditch. You can read more about this on the scenario leaflet that I also will post in this video. The row of dice up here marks where the British will have their starting area, and these buildings are to represent Agheila, which is a city in North Africa which were taken by the Germans after the British fled, thinking they have been assaulted by a much larger German force. And this is what this scenario tries to recreate. Victory conditions will be for the British to keep ownership of 2 buildings, have units inside 2 buildings. And for the Germans it will be to get all their armored vehicles past the ditch. And when I say armored, I mean all the units that are not Kubelwagens and other cars and trucks, because this is a kind of a special army list. We are not going by points, neither for the Germans or the British. This is more of a historic setup. What you can see behind here are 6 cards that emulates panzer trees. The Germans will have 10 order dice. 4 of will be these 2 infantry squads, 10 men, 1 light machine gun, 1 submachine gun and 8 rifles, and 2 trucks to transport them. Those are 4 order dice, and the 6 others are represented by these cards, and they can be either 1 Panzer III, 2 Panzer IIs, 1 KF-222, and also a mix of 3 or 4 of these Kubelwagens and jeeps and cars. The point is that these will not be revealed. What Rommel did was to kind of disguise them as armored vehicles like tanks and armored cars. So when we play, the German player will move these guys, and each of them will have a name under it which says what kind of unit it is. I actually have to roll a die to see what kind of order of battle the Germans get. There are 3 different order of battles that it can be, and this is not to be revealed until the end of the battle, or if the British player manages to destroy or at least damage the vehicles that are behind here. They will have to be replaced by the real vehicle. So I will not say what kind of order of battle the Germans will have, but I will roll for it, and I can do that now so that you can see. And I will of course, I have a list that tells me what is what. That is a 4, so that tells me what kind of order of battle the Germans will have. Now for the British, they have this starting force: 1 Mark 6 light tank and 2 A9 cruisers. The 12 shots have a brother or a sister, And then there are 2 8-man squads of desert rats. These guys painted by Celia, which is Damon's wife, not Ben's. And then you have 1 anti-tank rifle team. All of these guys are inexperienced, so it's kind of a hard day for the British, because most of these guys are veterans. So that will be interesting. However, the easy part for the British is, of course, just to stay and duck down and try to stop them getting through one of these entrances. That's the only way the vehicles can pass. So some strategic positioning and playing by the British players should make this possible. Because if the Germans can't get any vehicles past the ditch, then it's a decisive victory for the British if they also hold 2 of the buildings. So this will be interesting. The Germans will have a decisive victory if they get all their armored vehicles behind the ditch, and also if there are no British forces occupying the houses. Even destroyed vehicles will count as a victory condition for the Germans. As you noticed, you could see there was 1 Matilda 2 over here and 1 25-pounder with quad tractor. These are reserves for the British. You can see 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6 means there are no reserves. They have to make it on their own. So now I will roll to see what kind of reserves the British will get, if any. So here goes. And that's a 4, so they get a 25-pounder with quad tractor. That can come in handy for them later. And as you also saw in the last battle we had a couple of donators that got to fight in this battle, and they are with us for this battle, since none of us, well, that's me or Damon, didn't manage to finish them off. And I have elected that Commander Loki will command this A9 cruiser. And for the Germans, well, I cannot tell you just yet, because I cannot reveal the actual army list. But one of these vehicles it will be. Either a Panzer III, a Panzer II, or a 222, which he commanded last time with great success. And also, when you are watching this, if you have donated, you will also be eligible to be included in this battle, because there will be a couple of days from shooting this one until we start filming the actual battle. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the sneak peek, and make sure you watch the full video when it's released in, well, a week or 2. So this is Svein from tabletopbattle.com, and you have just seen a sneak peek of Rommels Ruse, the second battle of the 1941 North Africa campaign.